Hello, Taurus. This is going to be your December 2019 reading. I want to thank all of you who may have been waiting for me to post readings. I did have quite the setback with Mercury retrograde messing with my computer stuff and other things in my life, so it was a little hectic. So I want to thank all of you for honoring my time and recognizing that I just was unable to post. So hopefully now that Mercury retrograde has moved on into a direct position, we can really start to move forward. So let's see what we have going on for you, Taurus, throughout December. And we'll get some regular tarot cards here from the Tarot of Dreams, and then we'll get an oracle for your advice, and then we're also going to even get a moon card for the full moon, which will be happening December 12th, so about mid-month. Kind of get like a 2-week heads up on what's going on with that full moon. A lot of things are tying up since we had Mercury going retrograde. Alright, so you first got Knight of Wands, and then you've got the Nine of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Hermit. Okay, Taurus, let's see what's going on for you. Now, the Knight of Wands is always going to signify that there's some action happening around something that you're really passionate about. So this could be a numerous amount of different areas in every Taurus's life. So for some of you, this is going to be a relationship. Okay, for a lot of you, it's going to be your work life or your life's work. So not always necessarily having to be a relationship or something that you're really chasing necessarily. It could be that job you're chasing. You could be chasing that dream. Either way, you're doing action or creating action around something that, creates a lot of passion and fire inside of you. So for you Tauruses out there that have some kind of a dream or some kind of a big idea, this is a card that definitely says, hey, do some action around that, and you may find that fiery passion, that you've been looking for, or even enhance some passion. Now you have the Nine of Swords coming up here, so something is definitely ending. Okay, and maybe that's what's, causing some of this action around passion to happen, because the ending has been recognized and felt. So not only are you coming up on the end of a cycle, but something in your mental, your communication, this is kind of like that murder scene feeling, where you're just looking at it like, this is done. What's nice about this card is it's never going to happen to you ever again. You've learned your lesson. Whatever you needed, this same exact scenario will not duplicate for you. Whenever we get the Nine of Swords, it's kind of like that promise that comes with it. Yes, you've been through a lot. Yes, there's been some different emotions and ideas and things that have maybe even tormented you, okay? Because, see how it looks like this claw kind of is pretty scary from the tree, and all these swords are pretty deadly, and painful. So they're all, in traditional tarot, it's the card where the person is laying on their belly and there's 9 swords in their back. And that is always just the scene of the crime. So it's done. It's already done. It's happened. Now what do you do with the information that you have? So that's moving forward. When we get the 10 of Swords, it's like that ending. It's done. It's already done. The 9 of Swords is feeling it. Feeling that it's done. So that is a promise that whatever you've been going through that may have been very difficult on a scale to all the way painful is actually wrapping up. So being done with that throughout December. And that allows you time to heal, and readjust things. Now with the Page of Cups coming in here, there is some sort of new emotion or new feeling that might be coming from these different changes, okay? And what's really nice is the Page of Cups is where all of our feelings of everything come through, our emotions. So this person's studying their emotions, trying to get to know what emotions they have, what other people have, how they work together, how they are created, how we receive, how we give, as far as emotions and feelings go. So there may be this new opportunity to feel something new about something in your life. You may have like a new opportunity, a new partner, a new friend, a new group, something that feels really good. It could even just be even a new way of living. A lot of us do these New Year's resolutions for January, and throughout December we really start to think about it. And this is about learning, looking into it further, diving a little bit deeper into it so that you can then do action like the Knight does. The Page is learning, the Knight does the action. Now you have the Hermit coming up here. And what's really nice about the Hermit is it's another 9. So you have that 9 here and you have a 9 here. And the 9 is always definitely signifying that there's some inner work, okay, that's going on. And there's wisdom and experience that comes from this inner work. So some of the answers that you might be seeking, Taurus, that aren't answered right away or right in front of you, some of those answers need to be found deep within. So going inside yourself, listening to your guides, having those conversations, doing some meditative work, some mind work, some inner healing, and recognizing the wisdom and experiences that you're going to bring forward with you. Because this is the card right before the Wheel of Fortune card. And the Wheel of Fortune is always going to signify a large shift because the lesson's been learned. The wisdom and the experience needed in order to make the divine cycle shift is needed from inner work. So definitely a suggestion to do some inner work. So let's get an oracle card and see what your advice is. And then we'll get a moon card. And then I'm even going to do some clarifying cards for these tarot cards in front of us. Now I will be cutting back on some of the readings that I'm doing just because I'm starting to get paying clients and customers and my time is needed to do those private readings. So I will have to cut those back as I realized over this last month that I wasn't able to maintain my self-care while still doing these readings for the free YouTube viewers and then also for my paying viewers through my website. So definitely if you are needing more than just the monthly reading, you may want to check into getting those private readings. I may not be able to do as many free readings moving forward, which is actually a great thing and I'm celebrating it. But I know that that may affect some of you viewers out there. So thank you so much for, recognizing what I need to do as well. And ways you can help yourself. Lots of readers on the internet. Lots of good ones. Okay. Now we have dedicated effort. So that is your advice. And when we're going to get the 8 of Pentacles, that's saying that you are having strength. You're having strength in knowing that whatever you're building is going to be really stable. You may have your nose to the grindstone throughout December, really working on something that just really builds that, fire for you, that passion. So that's really cool to come out because I was wondering where the Pentacles was. So now you've had your wand energy, your sword energy, your cup energy, and your pentacle energy. So the advice is definitely to check what kind of dedicated effort you are putting into not only your own life, but the activities and the people that you encounter. What kind of effort are you putting in to sustain and maintain? And it definitely takes strength, recognizing that you need that kind of strength and that you can maintain and sustain strength throughout some of these harder things that you might be experiencing with the 9 of Swords and that inner work that is required with the Hermit. Now let's get a moon card. We have a full moon coming up December 12th, and that is about halfway through the month. So I wanted to get a little tidbit of what might be coming up because we've had a lot of stuff going on in November, and it'd be nice to get that heads up. So this moon card will be reflective of what's going on around the full moon on December 12th for you, Taurus. And that will give you a little bit of time to adjust and reassess. Now that Mercury's not retrograde, everything is flying forward pretty fast. So let's see if there's some more advice for you, Taurus, for this full moon for December 12th, 2019. All right. It's time to take action. So that is really cool because you have the synchronicity of this Knight of Wands who is saying essentially the same thing. It is time to take that action. And with this fiery energy going on, Taurus, it seems like you really have to get into what drives you really wild. So around the full moon time, remember that it's going to be important for you to not just observe, but actually participate and maybe take some risks and, check out where it is that you can advocate for your own success and happiness. What kind of action steps can you take? So that is awesome. Let's get some clarifying cards for these 4 down here in front of us. See if we can figure out a little bit more of what might be going on with not only this ending in this meditation, but this huge new emotion that's going to be studied with this passion, and what kind of action you might be taking. It looks like you have dedicated effort, time to take action. Those are all really movement words. Those aren't sit and think words, or phrases, rather. Those are definitely phrases of action, movement. So let's get some clarifying cards for you, Taurus, and see if we can get just a little bit more detail. You got the Hierophant, the King of Swords, the Knight of Cups, that's beautiful. Ah, yes, and the 3 of Coin. Okay, so let's check this out, Taurus. You have received the Knight of Wands, and that is always about action around passion. You're also getting the Hierophant, which interestingly enough is a lot like the Hermit. However, the way that they seek the wisdom and that inner belief and inner knowing is a little bit different. The Hierophant is just realizing that maybe his views of what is and what is taught and what is learned and what is culture and what is tradition all can sometimes conflict or mesh. And so it all comes down to, what do you believe in your heart? What is it that you believe? So something around this passion for you, Taurus, is asking you what you believe in. What is it that you feel is within the agents of chaos, right? Like what inner beliefs conflict? Where is it that you have this crossing of swords of silver and gold that isn't actually, meshing? The silver and gold can definitely blend, but what in your heart do you believe that brings you forward? So that's a really big question with the Hierophant coming out with this Knight of Wands, because this passion is what drives. Your passion is what drives this Knight of Wands. But what is it that you believe? Okay? That is the big question here, is to keep your belief in the forefront. What is your truth? Okay? Always keeping the truth along with that possibility. And trust. Okay? We have truth and trust. Truth is what you know. Trust is what you can't see, but you know. Okay? That's that faith part of it. So there's some kind of a balance there that could be recognized within your passions. What is faith and what is truth? And how do they blend? Or do they conflict, Okay, so we also have this 9 of Swords, and that's like an ending. Okay, that's that divine ending that needed to happen in order for a lesson to be learned, or something to move forward, or some kind of a knowing to happen, a deep truth knowing. And so with this king coming out here, this is the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is always going to take his truth, use his truth and his ideas and his communication to always build up his kingdom. He knows how to use it in every way. He's going to, he's not going to play games. He's not going to manipulate or do this and that. It's always going to be a truth, and it's going to be straight to the point, and the communication is going to be clear. The thinking is going to be logical, okay? And that may be something you need to adopt during this time. Whatever kind of ending you're experiencing, rather than, taking it all in and letting it be a part of you, rather than honoring maybe what you've learned. Go the other direction. What would the king do in this situation if he had gone through some, rather painful or damaging or disappointing ending? He's going to take that information and go forward. He's not going to stop. He's not going to freak out. He's the king. He doesn't have time for that. So really recognizing where you can stand in your power and hold your truth forward. Take that truth. Take the truth that you've learned from this forward with you. Honor it. Accept it. Love it for what it is, for giving you the wisdom, that you're you're really starting to seek right now, that inner wisdom, that inner guidance. And the Hierophant knows too. You know, there's that balance, that truth and that faith. Well, what is your truth? If you don't have a truth, how do you have a faith? Big question. That's deep. All right, now we have Page of Cups here. And Page of Cups is always honoring and looking at what their emotions are. Why do I feel this way? Why? Pages are usually asking why, who, what, when, you know, and they're the ones questioning and learning and diving a little bit deeper. And then you get the Knight of Cups with it. Now, the Knight of Cups is going to take all those emotions and that knowledge of the emotions and go share it. Have some action around it. So again, you're being asked for action around what you feel. So what do you feel, Taurus? Where do you feel there could be action? Where can there be this truth? Are these two blending? You know, when we have our heart and our mind on the same page, we can really do a lot with it. We can really go forward, you know, and learn more about ourselves and our environment and, you know, our process here on this planet. So really interesting to figure out what your path is right now. You know, it seems like there has been some kind of ending and you're being given an opportunity to really take what you've learned and utilize it. That dedicated effort and knowing that there can be action around this new wisdom, these new lessons. Now with the inner seeking that happens with the Hermit, you may really start to get noticed. Maybe some of your work, some of the moves you've made that have stabilized you, Taurus, something. It could be your work, literally, like the work you do at work. It could be a creative project you've been working on. It could be that relationship that you realize is like, wow, I've been really making this work. You know, it could be just a plan for yourself. You know, I've been making this work and other people are going to notice it too. So the Three of Pentacles is not only us recognizing, wow, I'm doing this, but other people. And so when you're doing that inner work, you may get people that are like, you know, I noticed something different in you or in what you're doing. And that is key, that you know you're on the right track. You know, when there's movement and growth being made within ourselves and our environment, and we're manifesting and living in joy and honoring the dark and light parts of, you know, our daily existence, we can really start to be that beacon of light in people's lives. And knowing ourselves is such a key. So really cool, Taurus. Looks like you're going to have a lot going on throughout December. Please check out the free tarot deck giveaway that I have going on my website. I'll leave details below and maybe stick like a little video thing right here at the end of the video. And check that out. I need like 100 more people to sign up before I can do the drawing, because that's what I put in the rules. And I want to remain legit. So I hope you guys have a great December. I'll be working on a little special gift for everybody around the end of December. So keep tuned in for that. And we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Thank you for watching.